Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. This is actually our first podcast, man. This is our first one. Coming into it. Really what we're going to be doing is introducing ourselves and letting people know a little bit about us. We'll dive a little bit into wrestling news here in a bit, but just want to kind of give them a feel for who we are, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So anyways, names first off. I'm Blake.
John.
And basically, yeah, I kind of want to start off with what really got us into wrestling. You know, what was the thing that pivotal moment of when we were watching or when friends introduced it to us and we were just like, oh, this is awesome. You know, I want to watch this forever.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is. I was kind of like when I was younger, just a love-hate, not a little love-hate, but like dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And then I like when I seen Kane.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the Attitude Era, that's when it really hit. And
was it masked Kane or unmasked Kane?
Masked Kane. When about 98-ish, when a little bit after he first got introduced, and then
yeah, because you've been watching it longer than I have.
Yeah, and I got into it a little bit back when the Ultimate Warrior was when I was younger.
Yeah,
and then kind of fell out of it, and then when the Attitude Era first started, that's when I really got into it.
That seems like where a lot of people that I know nowadays, like the Attitude Era was their like turning point to where they're just like, oh, this is the shit. You know, I want to keep on watching, especially when that Rock Stone Cold feud was going on. Yeah. That was like the pinnacle of wrestling feuds. And
then when the Hardys and Edge and Christian and Dudley's came in, it was over.
I remember
every Monday night I was on it.
Yeah, exactly. If like you and I were talking a couple weeks ago, if we missed a Monday Night Raw, we would be pissed.
Yeah, I would skip practices at school just so I didn't miss Monday Night Raw.
My mom would ground me, and I'd be like, "No, fuck you, Mom.
No,
I need to watch this." Yeah, wrestling for a while was, it was my life when I was in elementary school, dude. I eat, slept, breathed
wrestling,
WWE, and wrestling, and really that's all I knew was WWE.
I wasn't a huge WCW fan. I was a big kind of NWO, but I was always I'd watch WCW for the first hour, and then when WWE came on, because it was always, remember, it was broken up like that. Right. I wouldn't turn back to WCW once, WCW gave me my hour fill until Raw came on, and then
kind of give you your holdover.
And then nobody watched Thunder because not even people in WCW wanted to wrestle on Thunder.
No, that's like the 2010 SmackDown show. That was the real.
It was more like Velocity. That's what Thunder was.
That's about right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It wasn't Nitro. It basically was Velocity.
Yeah, basically.
It's crazy. So how I got into it was I was in about 4th grade. I came into it really late, and I remember it was 2001, and I didn't really know that there was a WCW because I just got into it. So all I knew was, oh yeah, there's WWE. Never really was allowed to watch it because I grew up in a conservative household, and my parents were like, oh, it's violent. You can't watch that.
Yeah, my mom and dad didn't really care as long as I was a kid that tried the moves on my sisters and stuff like that. But then my mom, like when raunchy stuff came on, she was like, oh, but the violence, she never really cared because I didn't really.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I didn't really understand is because my parents would let me watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or let me watch, Power Rangers or something. Yeah. It's just it's the same thing. I know some wrestling fans might rip my head off for that, but it's violence nonetheless. I had 2 friends in elementary school, and they watched it religiously, like they were really into it. So I kind of watched. They had the DVD pay-per-views, so I watched one of them with them, and immediately I was just like, man, these moves are really cool. And I remember the match that I was watching. It was Kane versus, oh gosh, who was it? I think it was Kane versus Chris Jericho. Like when Jericho was first building up in WWE.
Yeah, about 2000 when he came in.
Yeah, and that's where I was just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, Chris Jericho was one of the first guys that got me into it. And seeing Kane, I was like, this guy's kind of scary. Like, if I ever ran into him on the streets, I'd be terrified.
And now you see him, you're like, oh, maybe not.
Whatever. And when people beat him now, I'm just
you find out he's probably a really smart guy. He's like, he used to be a teacher or something.
What is he running for governor or senator or something like
governor,
that?
I think mayor, I think it's mayor. Governor. Maybe governor or mayor, somewhere around there.
It's something like that. We have to check that out and see what's going on with that. But anyways, that's how I got into it. And, those 2 friends now, I talked to them recently and they're not into it anymore at all. And me, I'm just like, I'm still super into it. I love the talent that they have today. I kind of fell off when I went to college and everything because
I think everyone had, when they got older, had that brief period where they fell off. I think about 2010 area is when I kind of fell off for a little bit, and I kind of got back into it.
Yeah, I just didn't see the talent that I saw from like 2005, 2004.
It was the same. They didn't have anybody new for a while, and it just kind of. And then CM Punk did his little thing where he kind of. I'm not a huge CM Punk fan, but he kind of brought me back into it a little bit when he had his year run.
Yeah.
And then now, especially with like the way they bring people up through NXT, that's
NXT,
so awesome.
dude. Yeah, that is such a great platform for...
Especially their last takeover before Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
With Johnny Wrestling?
Yeah.
Their main event?
Yeah, Johnny Gargano.
That was probably...
Andrade?
That was probably what, like... I'd give it at least a 4 or 5 stars.
I think it was a 6-star match.
Was it?
I think it was.
Nice.
I think Dave Meltzer actually rated it a 6-star match, which he doesn't. He's not generous with those.
No, he's not. I think he only gave TNA 1 5-star match.
5-star, yeah. I don't know about 6-star.
And that actually consisted of what, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Daniels, was it?
Yeah,
Daniels.
Yeah, I think it was for X Division Championship in like 2004-ish.
Yeah, that was the only high.
Yeah, I think that was it.
We're really getting off track of how we got into wrestling.
I really don't care. But okay, so that's how I got into wrestling, and I've been watching it ever since. But what I want to kind of get into now is, your favorite wrestlers, my favorite wrestlers of current period, and then favorite wrestlers of like, what I would call as legends.
Yeah, legends are what we grew up on.
Right. And that are no longer wrestling or part-time or whatever, so it's kind of no holds barred with that. So I kind of made a list, and I'll let you know about my top 5 current favorite right now.
Right.
My 5th favorite, it's not in really any particular order, but what I see is like, I go based off of charisma, what they can do in the ring, strength, stuff like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
If I like their finishing move a lot. So my 5th favorite is Kota Ibushi. From seeing him in the Cruiserweight Classic, when his match with Cedric Alexander was amazing, just jaw-dropping, and they really put on something, I think, huge there, and really put Cruiserweights on the map.
It's falling down now.
Even though it's falling down and falling apart now, but when that match happened, I was like, this is going to be the shit.
They need to bring they might even have to bring a Rey Mysterio in, just kind of give it a spark.
Probably.
And then just kind of highlight those. They need them kind of matches again.
Roderick Strong's kind of, and Hideo Itami, a.k.a. Kenta, is trying to bring some light into that, and they're trying to bring some bigger names into it. But,
they're losing 3 of their top cruiserweights, Enzo and...
Neville, Enzo,
and Rick Swann.
Yeah.
They lost those 3, and that kind of put a damper into it, so...
Yeah, but, 2 of them for... good reasoning.
Neville just kind of... I'm not really sure what happened to Neville.
But I want to talk about the Rich Swann and Enzo Amore thing a little bit later, on another podcast, because I've been hearing mixed stuff about it.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what's going on with that. I haven't really kept up with too much. I kind of know the big details, but I'm not too sure what's going on, because I think Rick Swann got in legal trouble, but he got off of it.
Yeah, because they found it wasn't... they didn't have it wasn't probable cause or anything like that. It was... not evidence or anything. I don't know if they clarified it as domestic abuse. Anyways, let's get back to the issue. So, who's your 5th favorite?
5th favorite right now would probably have to be Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
I dig, especially now they brought the curb stomp back.
Yeah,
I feel like where he was at when he was with the Authority to now, it's like he's starting to get back up there. I don't know, he kind of fell to the wayside.
To the mid-card.
Yeah, to the mid-card for a minute. And now with Ambrose being out and Jordan being out, it's kind of his time to shine as a singles competitor. I'm kind of curious on what they do with him.
But you know what I like about him? And actually, it's funny that you mentioned Seth Rollins, because that's actually my 4th favorite.
Yeah,
so it's a good transition. You know what I find interesting about him, though, is that even when he was in the mid-card, even when he was in the tag team divisions, and even when he was teaming with Jason Jordan, which, thank God, that's finally over.
He was carrying that situation.
Yeah. Oh, his back must have been killing him, because he was carrying that entire team. Yeah. He was still finding a way to keep himself relevant.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Seth Rollins, is that even if he's not in the main spotlight, he still makes sure that he's not a shadow cast aside. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's so yeah, again, my 4th favorite, Seth Rollins. I think the one thing that kind of knocks me off from or knocks me down a little bit on my list is his laugh, his heel laugh.
That heel laugh. Well, I don't know what he does.
I mean, yeah,
but
I get it. Yeah. It's supposed to be evil villain, but
especially like I digged him, especially when he has that feud with Triple H when he came out NXT Takeover and called out Triple H. That was badass.
That was baller. Yeah,
and then he's kind of falling down a little bit.
That entrance, though, at WrestleMania last year, that was the shit.
Yeah, it was better than Randy Orton's.
yeah.
Little sperm going down for Randy Orton. Well, it was supposed to be a viper, but it looked like a piece of sperm going down there.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going on here?
That match in and of itself was a trip.
Stephanie went through a table and was out for almost a year.
Yeah.
It was like a year before we seen her again.
And then she came back and she's like, hey, guess what?
Royal Rumble.
Women's Royal Rumble. I made it.
I did everything to do with women in wrestling because of me.
It's all me. Yep. So what's your fourth favorite?
Fourth, older one. He's still always going to be on the list. He's moved down a little bit because of age and then newer age. But Matt Hardy, he's always been woken. Especially
used to be broken.
Yeah, especially if they do it right, which they're kind of. It's different now because TNA he actually had a lot more freedom and actually put like if you ever watch his segments on TNA they gave him like 30 minutes to like an hour of the show to do his segments. And Raw, he has like a 10-minute spot.
When he was there, he was the show.
Yeah, that's the only reason I watched TNA. And once they left the Ring of Honor for that little stint before they come back at WrestleMania last year, I was done with TNA. I didn't stop to watch. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, I think the only thing that had them pulling was Bobby Lashley and EC3,
and they're gone.
Yeah, EC3 and now EC3's with NXT and Bobby Lashley. Don't know.
He's up in the air. I think he'll make an appearance.
I think he'll make a comeback in WWE. Things kind of blew over with that. So, third favorite for me would actually be somebody that you would never guess this about me, but British wrestling, like UK wrestling. Really? I love it. Really? I'm a huge fan of it. I look at Zack Sabre Jr. and Tyler Bate, Trent Seven.
I like Tyler Bate.
Bate's awesome, but
they're kind of incorporating those guys a little bit in NXT, a little bit.
Right, and I like that they're including the UK Championship because it gives it another title to fight for.
Because like, I remember when they introduced it, and and then it was just like, you didn't really hear much after it.
Right,
you just see it on the page of he's the champ, but
but they're incorporating it more. Yeah, I think on their big pay-per-views, they're actually
Especially didn't the champion come out on a Raw once? Or no, a pay-per-view. It was a pay-per-view.
And that's my third favorite.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. That dude, like, the looks that he has on his face, there's no way that you could turn that guy face. Yeah. He's heel through and through to the core and just, he's so brutal in the ring. And his entrance music actually is what really, like, made me pay attention to him. Yeah. I was just like, wow, which is probably honestly my favorite entrance music in WWE right now. Yeah. But just his in-ring style and how he manipulates every appendage on somebody, it's awesome. And I saw that a lot in Zack Sabre Jr. I saw that a lot in Tyler Bate as well, where they'd have an armbar on somebody and then they just crank the fingers. You're like, a
little bit extra in there.
Yeah, just a little bit extra pain. So what's your third?
Third would have to be AJ Styles.
Hell yeah, man.
He's always going to be up there.
Always up on that list.
From TNA to when he went to New Japan till his debut in Raw and WWE. And that's one thing I do like about, I don't really know who's calling the shots. I think Triple H is more on it, but I'm not really, because if you've noticed the guys that came in that was from other companies, they really had to work to get in the spotlight. But if you look at AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor even, they're in there. Like AJ Styles got the world title really quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I did not see him climb the ladder that fast. I knew it would take him some time, but that was quick.
He had, his first WrestleMania was against Y2J.
Yeah, Chris Jericho.
And his second one was against Shane, which it was a good match, but it wasn't like with the capable of what he can do, AJ Styles, the matches he can put on.
It was a good start to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was. But the matches he was capable of putting on, they dropped the ball. They could have put him against the Seth Rollins or Finn. Well, Finn Balor was hurt at the time.
Sure.
Which he came back the next night, so they could have.
Yeah.
But Shane I didn't think it was a good choice, but it is what it is. But
honestly, I didn't think it was like like on paper, it didn't look that good. But they put on a good match.
They did.
Like it really kept my attention.
And that's AJ Styles can carry anybody in a match.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about him. He can carry a match.
He could carry Reigns, so Jesus,
exactly.
He can do
and then
anybody.
They're doing it right this year because it looks like Nakamura and him are going to be the main event, and hopefully
so nice.
Which I don't know if they're going to create the same magic they did back in New Japan, but
that's something that I'm thinking about too. Is like WWE has never had I could be wrong. No, because I was thinking about Yokozuna. They've never had an actual Japanese champion, like main champion. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Yokozuna was portrayed as Japanese. He was actually Samoan."
Yeah,
so
because he's related to all the Samoans, you know.
Right. He was in that royal lineage, you know. With Nakamura, he's pure Japanese,
exactly.
And that's something that probably Vince has a say in. He's just like, I don't really want him to have the title because I like my champs to talk.
Yeah.
And if you've listened to some of Nakamura's promos, they're not really.
That's how I feel with Asuka a little bit too.
So you said
AJ Styles was my third.
He's my second.
So
it seems like we're
going right into it. Yeah,
exactly. So I've already said my piece on AJ. I followed him when he was in New Japan as well, and when he won the heavyweight championship, it blew my mind.
Yeah, second American to ever do it behind Brock Lesnar? Yeah. So
it was
hopefully Omega.
Well, he's not American; he's Canadian. So. But I mean, he could be the first Canadian.
Hopefully, Kenny Omega gets it for his time's up there.
Yeah.
Or I don't know much more time he got.
I honestly think we'll talk about him a little bit later, but I think there's a way that they're working with him.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I'll just go ahead and go with my first one, Kenny Omega.
And he's actually my second.
Yeah.
Second. So
our lists are
pretty
very
similar.
Yeah. So
Omega, just the dude. Every match I've seen, I've liked. I haven't really seen a bad match.
I've never seen a bad match from Omega,
especially with that last Wrestle Kingdom against Jericho. That was.
Did you see the 6-star match of Okada Omega 1? It was the first one at Wrestle Kingdom last year.
I've not seen that one yet. I need to check it out. Yeah, I've really just when AJ Styles went over there and he became the Bullet Club, the leader. That's about when I started. Really, I've always known about New Japan, but that's when I really was like, oh, this is interesting because I liked AJ Styles and TNA, and I just kind of like to see where guys go.
Well, I heard of Hiroshi Tanahashi before, and I thought I saw him wrestle in TNA. I could be wrong. I don't know, but Naito over there, he's doing pretty good with that. What was it? I can't even pronounce his faction. Los Ingobernables, whatever, De Japon, or pretty much. Ingovernable of Japan or something like that.
And the main thing with Kenny Omega, he feels like the new Sting to me. Like he's like not in the fact that they wrestle completely different, but it's like the guy that WWE can't get. Which I had him at one point. They did actually have him as a developmental, but he decided to go his own way
under Bill DeMott.
Yeah, but it's like they feel like he's that guy they can't get back. But who knows?
Well, I mean, WWE also had AJ at one point.
Yeah, and that was just in that middle of that because he was in WCW and they brought him over.
Right.
And
he had a match with the Hurricane. I think that was the only televised match that he had.
That's just a bad time for AJ, which was probably for the best anyways, because he probably would have got turned into something way different if he would have stuck around.
Yeah.
And with all the talent that came from WCW, they were sticking with the guys that were already known.
Right.
And then just too much talent at the time.
I think if he would have stuck with it, it would have ruined his character and ruined his career.
He wouldn't have been the AJ Styles we know today. Exactly. So it was probably things happen for a reason.
Exactly. So who's your number one?
Number one, Balor.
Finn Balor?
Finn Balor. Like, I'm kind of digging him a little bit. I wish it seems like he got the Universal title, got hurt, and then when he came back, it's just like, well, we're doing the same with Lesnar, and we're building the Reigns and Lesnar at Mania, so you're just kind of going to be around. And now that he's kind of bringing the club back, I feel like they got something in the works there. And I kind of
they're stewing something up.
And one thing that I think would be awesome, and this is just hypothetically, is if they could get the Bucks and Kenny Omega to come in at the same time, and then
that would be the Bullet Club right there.
Yeah, but then have the Carl Anderson and Gallows and Balor. They just clash for a minute. That'd be
if they had like a feud.
Oh yeah, we're the club. No, we're the club. Kind of club. We're the which one's the better club?
So the Elite versus the club.
Yeah, Yeah, that's how if I book him, that's how I'd bring him in. But
I love that. Yeah,
I don't know. That's another one. Is like I don't know if the Young Bucks would ever come to WWE.
You just got to throw the Undisputed Era in there as well. You know, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole.
But the thing with Adam Cole, he was never really a full-time New Japan talent. Ring of Honor New Japan had like this contract deal on pay-per-views. Sometimes the Ring of Honor World Championship would be defended. Sometimes it wouldn't be, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's where he was caught.
That's what I like about the smaller promotions. They kind of do that stuff to bring money, and WWE would never.
No, they'd never tamper.
They've done it with ECW, but you know, if you ever watch the WWE Network and start talking about stuff, but
who's texting you, man?
Probably the old lady.
She's already saying it's too long. You need to come home. Got kids.
But it was Josh.
What was it? I got kids, man.
But I got kids.
You need to get that shirt.
I need to get that shirt.
I can't get it. What would mine be?
Get these hands.
Oh,
you gotta get these hands.
Yes.
But
Brush Strowman.
I got off topic. I don't know where I was going with all that.
No, you were talking about Finn Balor. We were talking about the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So you're on topic.
Yeah. And then, like the cross promotions, like WWE dabbled in it back in the day with ECW, but when you come find out, if you watch like the Monday Night Wars, if you watch those segments on,
they bought them.
Yeah. Like Vince McMahon was feeding them money, keep them alive because they were kind of cahooting,
right?
But
because it was good TV, and good TV brings in good money, so why not? The one thing about Balor though that I can never get into, his mic work is awful.
It is. That's something,
terrible.
But he has good ring work. Ring work can overshadow stuff.
I'll give him that.
I wish he'd have I just like his style, like that running kick he does, the running drop kick
into the corner.
Oh my god! And then that's what it was Seth Rollins too with his sling blade. Yeah, not sling blade. Balor does a sling blade, right?
Well, they both do it.
Yeah, and then
which I think it could get confusing for some viewers because it's like, oh, do they have the same like
Broken Arrow? That's what I was thinking of. Seth Rollins, was it Broken
Falcon Arrow?
Falcon Arrow. That's
yeah.
That's just. He's got some moves on. Seth Rollins is kind of moving up on my list a little bit too. So,
but the thing that I find interesting about that is that they both kind of share the same moves, And Seth Rollins has nothing against the guy. I love the guy, love his character, but he has a nasty habit of stealing other people's moves and using it as his own.
Because he's kind of using Kenny Omega's little knee, a different variation.
And Okada's, he's using Rainmaker into the V trigger. It's like. Come on, man! And I'm glad that they brought back the curb stomp because then it's
his. It was his.
Yeah.
And him when he was doing the pedigree. Oh my god,
dude! It's better than the stupid knee.
Yeah.
I hate
that knee. It's like a knee. Come on.
Yeah. Kenny Omega does that, and then he leads into something else.
Yeah. Still, he does it now, but then now he's leading into something else.
He leads into One-Winged Angel or the Snapdragon Suplex or. What he had back in the day, what was it, Kreutz Wrath, where it was like an electric chair drop?
Yeah.
He'd bring him down to do a German suplex.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And when he was with Dean Ambrose, the knee kind of worked a little bit because he kind of threw the knee and then Dean Ambrose did Dirty Deeds. And it kind of worked out. And then...
Do you like Dirty Deeds how it is now or how it was where it was like a headlock driver? Like a forward DDT? I love the headlock driver because it's different.
Yeah.
He's using the double arm DDT, and it's like that's what
kind of
Foley
like
does.
Yeah, Mick Foley's deal, but he kind of gives it a little bit more,
a little flair,
pizzazz to it, and
Mick Foley
just kind of.
But then you also look at Drew McIntyre; he does the same thing too. It's like,
and when Drew McIntyre did it, it was actually a little unsafe because he fucked up Matt Hardy once with that. Yeah. I think I remember that he fucked Matt Hardy up with that.
Yeah,
I think it was back in like.
Did he put him on the shelf?
Yeah, he put him on the shelf for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's it's dangerous.
And Seth Rollins put a few people on the shelf.
That's true.
But
yeah. Well,
when you heard Finn Balor, I think that was just a freak. I still like that little run and throw.
I love
just the way
his arm. It's the way that Finn Balor tried to catch himself.
Yeah, the way his arm wrapped around the barricade, and that was because on the barricade. But when he does it in the turnbuckle, it seems fine. Well, he did hurt Sting.
It did hurt Sting.
But Sting, he was a little on the older side. His neck probably couldn't take it as much as a younger guy could.
By the way, that pisses me off. Sting has never had a win in WWE and probably never will.
I thought he won a match on Raw. I'm going to look that up. I thought he had like a tag match and he won.
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's what I think they.
I thought it was only 2 pay.
It was kind of sucky because I think they were planning on using him a little bit more, but then he got hurt and it was just kind of like, I think looking back, if they didn't know he was going to get hurt, he probably would have won his match at WrestleMania.
That's probably right.
His first match at WrestleMania, it was good. They brought the NWO out and stuff like that, but
yeah, and then D-Generation X.
Yeah. It was kind of like they had to bring some excitement to it.
Sure.
History. Because Sting, he's on the low side. I don't think he can pull off the matches he used to. No. And it was kind of, they had to like throw some extra stuff.
TNA and WCW was his prime.
Yeah.
So speaking of older wrestlers, though, so what's your favorite like legend wrestlers?
Favorite legend, all time favorite legend back in the day was Ultimate Warrior. It was just something about him, the way he came in the ring in that match at WrestleMania 6 with Hogan. That's what kind of got me started in wrestling a little bit. Then I kind of fell off, and then the Attitude Era happened, and bam, it was over.
You're back into it.
Yeah. So my number one, and that's just childhood Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
When I got older, I found out, well, this guy kind of was Ultimate Warrior, kind of did some shady shit, and then. And then the Hall of Fame came around. They buried the hatchet, and it was actually a good Hall of Fame. His speech was great.
He died like what?
A few days after. Yeah, it was like he came out that Monday Night Raw, and it was like the next night.
It was kind of like closure. I guess for me, it was just like
perfect timing for It sucks, and it's good that they keep in touch. His wife does a lot with him now.
So were you shocked by the death and everything?
Yeah. It was just kind of one of those like, man, it sucks that it happened, but it was like. Couldn't have asked for a better timing.
You couldn't have asked for a better story with
especially
it,
and it was actually more sad too, because then he kind of met his wife and his daughters, and it was just like, oh man, it was just like the day after. Which now the WWE kind of was it Dana Warrior? She does a lot of stuff with him now.
Yeah. So was that your fifth favorite? Or was that your that was
my all time?
Your all time. All right, I'll go with my all time.
Back then. Now it's kind of
Okay, so. I got to go with my fifth favorite, actually.
Yeah.
Is because it's the one that got me interested in it. It's the one that caught my attention, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the things that he's doing now, like with Kenny Omega and New Japan, unbelievable. And then I think he's got something going on with Naito now as well.
I think Jericho might be a baiter. Like he's trying to get people to come over.
Yeah,
I think
he's trying to be the lure.
I think so. Because he was on Raw that 25th anniversary, so he's in good standings with. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully in WWE still. Right. I think he's.
I think he asked Vince permission to do that Wrestle Kingdom match, and Vince gave him the okay because I think Vince wants Kenny. Yeah. And he knows that Kenny is money.
I think Triple H wants Kenny more than Vince.
Probably. Vince likes his own homebred, and making his own people. Yeah. Whereas Triple H likes to bring in different viewers who follow a certain wrestler. Yeah. But yeah, Chris Jericho, even the stuff that he was doing with the List and when he was best friends with Kevin Owens.
Even back in the early 2000s, greatest mic skills. Especially when he was dogging on Stephanie, had the best.
Oh yeah,
best mic skills.
Let the bodies hit the floor, more like let the boobies hit the floor. yeah, that was great.
And then there was, I still remember this because I always have this. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but it was during the Invasion era.
Yeah,
where he's in the back, they do a segment. I think it was it was the RVD Jeff Hardy ladder match for the hardcore title. That pay-per-view. Remember that one?
Yeah,
SummerSlam. Was it SummerSlam? Yeah, SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think it could have been.
But Jericho was in the back, and Stephanie came out, and she said something about 10 minutes. Something about 10. She said a number or something. And Jericho was like, "I didn't say how many guys you were today," or something like that. And it was cracked me up.
What was it? My favorite line with that was he was going into I think it was SummerSlam, and it was Rhino and him in a match, and. The Rock and Jericho were dogging on Rhino and Stephanie, and he goes, "Well, see, in the ring, you got the gore and you got the whore." That was my all-time.
I think Shane was in the ring too, because it was like a Rock and Jericho kind of teamed up on him. But we're getting off track.
Anyways. But Chris Jericho,
mic skills, wrestling skills,
everything's on key.
He still hasn't lost a step, man. He's still put on good matches.
So who's your next?
My next, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
Eddie, just especially with the matches when the first ever brand split when SmackDown and Raw back in 2003-ish, 2002 era.
It was 2002, I think.
The first one, the matches Eddie and Edge had, the ladder match. Oh man, he put on some matches.
Dude, one of my favorite matches was.
I still remember when the Radicals first came over and they did that whole little they had to wrestle DX to get contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew Eddie Guerrero from WCW, but I didn't really keep track of him. And then he came over, and that's when I really got to know him. And it's kind of weird how he started. And, like, he became champion, beat Lesnar for the title, and had that good match at WrestleMania 20
with the help of Goldberg.
Yeah, a little bit of help with Goldberg, but
we won't pay attention to that.
But that place was crazy when he won the title. But Eddie Guerrero just. Yeah. Always good mic skills.
Yeah.
The little lying, cheating, stealing stuff.
Steal. Yeah.
Especially when he stole...
The low riders, man.
He stole Ric Flair's Royal Rumble number.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That was pretty great, yeah. No, it was also Ric Flair's wallet or something like that. It was Ric Flair's number and wallet. Yeah. That was pretty great.
And his music, the Viva La Raza, just when that hits.
Everything about him was really awesome.
I think Vicky Guerrero stuck around longer than she should have, but she kind of annoyed me.
I think WWE kind of threw her a bone, like, I'm sorry your husband died. Here's a job.
I think the only segment of Eddie Guerrero I didn't like was the whole Rey Mysterio's son.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was
a little off.
Well, that entire match was practically one entire botch, though.
Yeah.
Because Vicky was supposed to come down and push the ladder out, and she was late, and she didn't or anything. So
then she just, like, hold on to his leg or something, and Rey Mysterio got that. Yeah.
Well, no, she came out late. She pushed the ladder over, and then Mysterio put the ladder back up, and she was holding on to onto Eddie, and then Mysterio won. Yeah. So.
But everyone has that shitty storyline.
So, looking at mine... like I have a lot of stereotypical favorites, like what a lot of people would choose. Yeah. So my actual fourth favorite is Stone Cold.
He's on my list too.
You gotta make him. You want to talk about mic skills? You want to talk about somebody doing something different?
Carried WWE for
years.
Yeah.
If he can go into a match and make Dude Love look awesome, yeah.
And back then it was like he always won the Royal Rumble. He always main evented WrestleMania. For that 3-4 year span.
Yeah, he was
and no one cared. Like now you do that with Roman Reigns, people hate it. They don't want to see the same guy win all the time.
They don't want you shoving people down their throats. Nope. But I feel like Stone Cold listen more to the fans back in the Attitude Era than they do now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like they have their own agenda now.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Daniel Bryan, then it's like they were kind of forced, like, oh, I guess we're going to do this.
Right. Which that actually kind of annoyed me, but that's here nor there.
I'm not a huge Daniel Bryan fan. I never was.
Neither am I. So, who's your third?
Third? Let's see here. Whatever. I have to check the notes.
Yeah.
Triple H. Oh, back then, Triple H. Just when he actually took over DX after Shawn Michaels got hurt and went away. Just what he did from there, doing the stuff with Nation Domination, stuff like that. And then just...
Oh, that was
cool. You could tell it was just... He was the guy that was going to be the next thing.
Right.
And then when he got there and the feud with Triple H and Stone Cold and the feud with The Rock, Big Show, Kane, just...
that's actually one thing that... There's one thing about D-Generation X when Triple H was in charge that just... I was like, that's stupid. It's the DX Express.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Thankfully, Stone Cold took care of that.
Yeah. Fucking dropped a security barrier on it or something. Yeah.
I did have a stint where I wasn't... I liked his Evolution stint for a little bit, but there was a stint to where, when he was kind of with Evolution, like, I kind of fell off of him for a minute just because he would not fucking lose. Like, he wouldn't fucking lose.
Yeah.
It was just like, he beat Scott Steiner, which, whatever. I'm not a big Scott Steiner fan, but he beat Goldberg got the belt, and then he got it back. Triple H
like a month later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Randy Orton got it, and then he took it back.
And he took it back.
A month later.
And then, what was it?
Then he held on to it for like a year.
Yeah. And then Batista got it, and then he actually never touched it again.
Yeah, he didn't touch it for a while. Yeah.
No, I don't think he ever touched it again after that, because Batista went to SmackDown.
Yeah, and then he got the WWE title a few times.
And then he started getting that,
Yeah. So, but I had a small hate relationship with him back then, but now it's now to see what like
the work that he puts into things.
Yeah. Just see what he's doing now.
Because he invented NXT. Well, it didn't invent, but like he made NXT what it is today, and the tournaments that he's
Performance
making,
Center, everything.
He's done great things.
Which the only knock I do have of the Performance Center is it's like they're trying to homegrown a lot, and they're kind of going away from bringing guys in. Unless you're stick out like
name.
Kenny Omega and Young Bucks, unless you stick out like them, they're not really looking for you.
Yeah. So my third is actually pretty stereotypical still. I'm pretty sure that you can probably see what's coming. It's The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
You know, and a lot of people actually say, oh, you know, he's Hollywood now.
Yeah, he is. And honestly, if you look back, he didn't really wrestle that long.
No.
Look at it. Was it like 97 to like 2004 or 5-ish? Maybe.
I think it was earlier than
maybe
that.
In 2003?
I think he debuted at a Survivor Series.
Like 96, 97?
96, yeah.
He only wrestled until like 2003 full
Yeah.
time, and then, you know, once he did the Scorpion King, he kind of went Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he came back and had that John Cena thing, which was
Right.
cool. But yeah, The Rock, Mike skills, everything.
Across the board, like, hands down, the dude is, I think, the best mic worker in the business. A lot of people say CM Punk, but The Rock, even when he goes off script, it's genius.
Yeah.
And but some of his best stuff is off script.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that when they bring him in, don't give him a script.
Just let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing.
Especially like when he did that surprise stuff at WrestleMania. Like,
yeah,
he fought
Eric
Bludgeon
Rowan
Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't the Bludgeon Brothers then, but
Still
Eric
Wyatt
Rowan.
family.
Yeah, he beat him in like 30 seconds or something.
It was like 3 seconds or
3
something.
seconds,
yeah.
But
Dude, one rock bottom, boom, done.
Yeah.
But you know that's how you kill a faction right there. But you know I love the guy nonetheless. You know he's great. So what's your next?
Next, Shawn Michaels. Just he's always gonna be up there. Just I even liked him back when he was the Rockers. That's my aunt loved
Really?
him. Yeah, my aunt got me into the Rockers a little bit, and I liked him then. And then when he had that match with Stone Cold, which wasn't at WrestleMania, which wasn't his best match, but
Right.
coming back finding out, you know, he was in pain and he was out the door, so he just kind of had to get through it. But
Sure.
and then when he came back, he had really good matches. I remember he had that match with John Cena on Raw. Remember that? It took an hour. Like it took like half of Raw.
What was it?
And
It was Raw after WrestleMania.
yeah.
Or no, it wasn't after WrestleMania. It was in the UK.
Yeah, it was a couple Raws after. It was a couple Raws after WrestleMania that year. Because
And he won.
yeah,
Yeah.
he beat John Cena. But
What was it like a what was then known as the FU? It was he flipped out of it and then Sweet Chin Music and pinned him. Yeah, great finish.
They should have gave them the belt at WrestleMania. I don't know why.
They wanted their boy to be champ. Whatever. I think they looked at it as like Cena needed the championship back then, whereas Shawn Michaels didn't.
That's how they used to. I don't know. I don't think they do it now, but like to get people over, they used to put belts on them.
Yeah,
because I've read a lot of the wrestling books, and I've read the Lita Hardy Boys book, and both of their books, especially, they would be like, "You guys are so popular, you don't need the belts." That's what they would tell them.
Sure.
So you guys are all over.
While we're on it, who's your number one?
Number one, Ultimate Warrior is my number one.
Oh, okay.
I kind of got off.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Ultimate Warrior is your number one. So who else was on your list?
Let's see.
Wasn't there another one?
So I've done 4, right?
Yeah, you did 4.
So Ultimate Warrior, Eddie Guerrero, Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was on.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You told me that. So I'm just gonna throw out mine because they're on your list as well.
Yeah.
Triple H is my number 2.
Yeah.
Love Triple H. We've already talked about him. Shawn Michaels is my number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I do that.
For one reason only.
What's that?
Is I was I think it was one of my favorite matches was Team Eric Bischoff versus Team Austin at Survivor Series 2003.
Oh, I remember that, yes.
And Shawn Michaels put on, I was like, this guy is fucking immortal because he beat Christian, he beat Chris Jericho, and let's be honest, he beat Randy Orton too. Batista screwed him out of it, but he beat Randy Orton too. And the dude was a bloody mess while doing it the entire way through. Eliminated more than half of the other team, and was still great.
Yep.
I love Shawn Michaels, and then you and I actually got to meet him at a a hunting convention,
Hunting
in Kansas
Expo, yeah. That's
we did the DX chop and everything.
Did the DX chop and
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and actually he signed my New Year's resolution.
Your chair
with the Triple H on. So if I ever meet Triple H, I'm gonna have him sign that chair. So.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Just sign it right next to Shawn's.
That'd be I've met. I've met Shawn Michaels. Yeah. If I ever meet Triple H, I'll have him sign it. That's my goal.
So I want to get on this first before we move on to our favorite matches.
Hold on, 1 second. This is what I want to do. A hand, 2 to 3 honorable mention wrestlers that aren't really on your list, but mine would. And my honorable mentions would be kind of like because you spoke of him, Randy Orton. I kind of digged him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Christian, I always thought Christian got the short end of stick on a lot of things.
Okay.
I think they should have pushed him more. But just a little couple honorable mentions there.
I like Christian back in 2003, 2004. Not like 2010 and on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And which I think they kind of gave him like a give me world title run. Which kind of, you put in the record books he got it, but
the stuff that he did in TNA, that was the shit.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and I think he kind of had to leave because I think he was just getting lost in the shuffle. And I felt like he needed to leave and elevate himself and show, hey, I still got it.
So, my honorable mentions, in my book, the greatest heel of all time, Edge.
Yeah, rated R superstar.
Just the greatest. Yeah. I hated the guy so much, but he was good. I loved him. Everything that he did was just spiteful and evil.
And then he had a little bit Triple H to him. It was like he was always the champ. Mm-hmm. He was always the fucking champ.
Yeah.
And then, he had the good evilness to him. And what really brought it out was the Matt Hardy. That's when he really got elevated. That's why I like that Matt Hardy feud because it elevated both of them. Right. And then Matt Hardy kind of fell back into the shuffle, but Edge took off. And I can only say good things about Edge. There's times I hated him, but he was always great.
Well, and then another honorable mention for me is actually Brock Lesnar. I mean, when he suplexed John Cena 16, 17 times.
Yeah, at SummerSlam.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That was good.
But now he's doing it, and it's not as many times, but now he's brought the whole Suplex City thing in, and Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece is great.
And don't ever stiff Brock Lesnar because he'll punch you in the face like he did Braun Strowman.
Yeah, you'll get these hands, Braun.
you'll get these hands, Braun.
Shit, that was man. Remember we rewound that.
Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah. That was just his last pay per view. I was like, did he just fucking punch him in the face?
Yeah. Because I remember he kneed him or something.
He kneed him,
and then he got up,
and then Brock was like, "Fuck you!" Punched him in the stomach. Yeah. He bent over and squared him right in the face. I was like, "Shit!"
Kane's off in the distance, like, "What's going on here?"
Like, I don't want any of that. Like, Kane was smart. Just stand over there, man. Stay over there. But before we get into favorite matches, I want you to tell me about Comic-Con because you went to Kansas City Comic-Con.
Yeah, Kansas City Planet Comic-Con.
Yeah, just this weekend.
I got to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sting, Trish Stratus, and Lita were there.
Right.
And Sting was only there for Saturday, so it was kind of a rush. Meet him, say, hey, what's up? Signature.
Long line? Or?
Long line, because he was only there one day.
How long did you wait?
It took me about a couple hours to get a signature. Shit. So, and then, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man, I was kind of coming in the second day on Saturday, and I kind of turned a corner, and he wasn't advertised at all to be there, and he was just kind of there. It was just like, oh,
just
crap.
Like a surprise.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. And, I noticed him, and we talked, we were at the table talking over about 20 minutes. And
really?
I got a picture of him doing his little choke thing. And doing his thumbs up. And
did he have his 2x4?
Yeah, you could actually, he had a bunch of 2x4s. He had small 2x4s there. You can buy one and have him sign it.
Hell yeah, dude.
And we were talking about wrestlers. He was asking me who I like today, and I was telling him, I was like, I like Seth Rollins and stuff like that. And he's like, just don't tell me it's The Miz. Apparently he doesn't like The Miz.
You know what? I'll give credit where credit is due. The Miz, when he was talking about talking with Daniel Bryan and, mimicking Daniel Bryan, that's where he was hot. Yeah. And, where he showed real passion, that's where I was like,
because he did that little talking smack interview, and he had that real passion, and it was good. And then he tried to, do it too many times. Do it
again?
Yeah, it was just
again and
chill
again
out,
and again.
chill out. That one time, go off that, but...
Yeah,
just to see where he came from, though, and where he is today. But
I can see where he's going with is because he used what worked.
Yeah, and he came a long way from where he started, messing up a phone number on the Diva search. Now look at him, ex-world champion. You know, good, solid mid carder. Actually, a higher mid carder. You know, it seems like they're trying to give him the IC title
way too many times. I think he's going to beat Jericho.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to let him beat Jericho's record or something.
Right. It's my wife.
That's your wife.
Hey, babe. Hey.
I felt like I seen somebody walking my peripherals there. I was like,
shit! Who is that?
You guys got a cat?
We actually do have a cat. Just by the way, for everybody that's listening, or the 3 people that do listen to this, we're actually
maybe 4.
Yeah, whatever. But we're only doing voiceover right now. Maybe later down the line we'll do video
cast,
stuff as well.
Stuff like that.
Our setup is really ghetto right now, so we don't want to do that just yet.
We're starting out, and then quick. I'll just get into the Trish and Lita segment.
Sorry.
That's the people I really want to see because I was in love with Lita all since S.A. Rios. Since she's been with S.A. Rios, I've loved her. So, but I met them, got the pictures, got a little photo op signature, and then they had a little panel. They do little Comic-Con panels, and they talked about the Royal Rumble a little bit, and I guess called Trish up about after Christmas, like, hey, do you want to do this? And blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, let me call you back and let me see how I work in the ring. And she went and trained in the ring a little bit. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then I guess with Lita, they called her like the Wednesday before the Royal Rumble. Was like, do you want to do this? She was like, oh, I guess. And I guess Lita stated in a little panel that she got medically cleared to wrestle like at 5 o'clock the day of the Royal Rumble. She was like, so everything in the Royal Rumble, that was the most wrestling I'd done in a couple years, was the day of Royal Rumble.
She did look a little rusty.
Yeah, she did.
But
she did that moonsault pretty good for...
Yeah.
And I think she might have had him out too far and just not doing it in a while.
She made it work, though.
She did. And to give you this, she has the very first ever elimination in a women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Lita does.
That's right. Chalk one up. Got it. And she's on there.
We'll talk about the Royal Rumble here in a minute, but there's a few things about the women's one I want to state.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, while we're on it, just go ahead. Let's talk about Royal Rumble,
because this is our first podcast since the Royal Rumble. What was your overall?
Actually, it's one of the better pay-per-views that I've seen in a long time. Survivor Series was pretty good. You and I watched Survivor Series together. It was all right. I'd give Survivor Series a B, but I would give Royal Rumble an A.
Yeah,
everything
I liked it.
Happened that should have happened. Yeah. The booking was all right.
Yeah. I had a few things wrong with it, but it was probably a pay-per-view for me. Honestly, but there's a few things.
Honestly, I didn't see really any hiccups.
Yeah, I've seen a couple, but
the only hiccup that I had was keeping the Bellas in for too long on the women's Royal Rumble. That's
the main one. Actually, of the women's Royal Rumble match, is the Bellas. It's like it came down to was it Nikki
and Asuka,
and it was just like you knew who was going to win at that point, because why would they bring Nikki that hasn't been there in a year,
right?
And just boom, she got a championship.
Right.
They should have had like Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch, or even Bayley.
It should have been Asuka, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley.
It should have came down
to
the
final four.
Yeah,
absolutely. But whatever. The right person won for the female Royal Rumble, and it's going to work out great.
In my mind, both Rumbles felt predictable. Like you kind of knew who was going to win, but it was entertaining and I liked it. Especially when the Hurricane came out, he got more of a pop than I thought he was. Like it was
I didn't even know that he was there.
And then big match, John Cena throws him out in 2 seconds.
Right.
Like he gets in, tries to choke slam John
Dream
Cena,
killer,
and Dream killed him and threw him out.
Yeah, same with Elias.
You knew Hurricane Helms wasn't going to win it, but it was
still pretty cool.
Could have gave him a couple more seconds in there.
I would have loved to have seen like a choke slam to like the Miz or something like that, just to throw it in there.
And the other thing, Rousey coming out, that I think it took away Asuka's moment.
Yeah,
they should have had her come out Raw next night. That would have been a better stage.
Yeah, I think so, and I think also the awkward point.
Yeah.
What was it? She pointed like 3 or 4 times, and it just...
She should have, it's like she turned... Did she, the first time she did it, she, turned her back to him and did it?
Yeah.
And then it was just you should have been facing him. And
and, looked him square in the face and just been like, I'm coming for one of you, and pointed at it.
And
But it was just awkward because that they're waiting for the fireworks and everything, but it's not going to happen.
No.
It was just weird. It's kind of the Randy Orton all over again, where he gets up on the turnbuckle and he points and he looks at the pyro guy and he just goes, now.
Yeah.
But other than that, I do agree with you. Rousey kind of took away from the moment.
Yeah, and then the Lesnar match, you kind of knew Kane was in there to be the GOAT to get the pin,
right? And
you knew Lesnar's going to hold it till WrestleMania.
That match was the match I was least interested in on the card.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's just 3 big men. How much work can they do lugging them around?
And then they had the tag title match, which come and find out, Jason Jordan's hurt and he's on the shelf. So
So he got a concussion.
Quote, and just kind of sat there.
Air quotes, concussion. And tagged in once he felt like he was fine and then immediately tagged back out. Yeah. And Rollins took the fall.
So really... all the other matches weren't good except the Rumble. The Rumbles were what made the pay-per-view.
Which, by the way, Nakamura, he's the only Japanese superstar that's doing a lot. Like the only Japanese superstar that's been doing a lot of things. You know, he's the only Japanese superstar that has won the Royal Rumble. And again, a lot of people will say, "Oh, Yokozuna, he's Samoan." I'm talking like legitimate Japanese star. Where are we on time?
I think we
might be a little bit over.
Yeah, I think we're about 40-ish minutes into it.
Yeah, but I love Nakamura though. He might not be one of my top 5s, but it's just his mic work. But still, great.
He puts on good matches. So,
and you and I were both hyped when he threw out Reigns because that was the shit. Which again pissed off. That was Reigns number 30 again this year.
No, I think they knew they weren't going to do that this time around.
No. I know, but
he was like
was
number
24,
26, something
like that.
Shit,
I have to look this up.
I can't even remember who number 30 was.
That's a good. It wasn't Mysterio.
Yeah, number 30 was the guy you
Dolph Ziggler. It was Dolph Ziggler. That's right. Which, by the way,
what
the fuck
bring back
happened
was
there?
that? If they were to have him as 30, it should have came down to him and Nakamura just to have a little like.
Yeah.
Oh, Ziggler might come back and win this.
You want to give him a push.
Like they always done. Like when Cena came back, Edge came back.
Yeah.
Batista came back. They won the Royal Rumble, but they could have given him that little like, oh, Ziggler might get this, but boom, Nakamura gets him.
Yeah.
I think it was just. I think that might have been a contract thing. They didn't know if he was staying around or not, and now I think they did say he signed a contract.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But he's in that Fatal 5.
5-way, at Fastlane.
Yeah, Fastlane. Which we'll talk about that next podcast.
Yeah.
But what was it? I wanted to come back to the Universal Championship match. Nothing against, the 3 competitors.
Yeah.
Again, I love Kane. I love Brock Lesnar. And I love Braun Strowman, what he's doing right now.
Especially that little
the
bass thing he did.
Yeah, with Elias.
When he's singing, get these hands.
Yeah. I actually love that segment.
Yeah.
And they're kind of giving them, like, with there I could see a little bit of goofiness, which I don't really know about goofiness with him. He was doing really well as just the destroyer.
I think they're doing too much with him. Like, he doesn't need... I don't need to see him tipping over a vehicle.
Yeah, a semi or an ambulance.
Yeah, I don't need to see that to see that this guy's dominant. I need to see it in the ring.
Yeah, like we get it.
We get it. We get this guy can whatever.
But he's one of the most impactful big dudes I've seen in a long time. You look at all the big dudes that were in WWE. I mean, even Undertaker and Kane. You look at Kevin Nash.
Yeah, and Undertaker and Kane were kind of big, but they at the wrong time because Stone Cold and The Rock were around. Yeah.
But Undertaker still, he's
I honestly believe
the
Kane,
best gimmick.
Yeah, Kane should have had more title runs than he had.
True, but again, I think they look at it as like he didn't need the title.
Yeah, and if you look at someone that's been there, was there for a long time, he's been there just as long as the Undertaker. Probably longer. He's wrestled probably surpassed the Undertaker's length of wrestling.
Okay, well, if you're talking full time, yes. If you're talking like tenure,
full time wrestling, he's probably past Undertaker.
Yeah, but I remember he debuted with Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell match, and ripped the door off the cage.
But he was there for a while though before he became King because he had a couple.
Isaac Yankem or something like that.
Like a dentist. He had a couple, and he was the fake Diesel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he had a couple gimmicks. He was there for a while before they actually gave him the Kane part.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, so Royal Rumble. What would you give it? Like what kind of grade?
I'd say B plus A. Like I think the Rumbles is what brought it up. The other matches kind of hindered it a little bit. How
do you feel about the women's Royal Rumble match being on last?
I think the only reason they did it because they knew Rousey was coming out.
That's a good point.
Because they couldn't start off. They couldn't have Rousey come in the middle because then everyone would have.
That's a good point. About that. Yeah.
I think that's the only reason, and maybe because it was the first 1-2 is maybe why.
I wanted to. This is something that I thought about all week, and I kind of wanted to touch on this. Don't get me wrong. I love women's wrestling right now. It's probably the best that it's been for a long time. Yeah. Okay, but do we really have to do everything that the guys are doing? At every single pay-per-view. Yeah. Okay, so the guys are having an Elimination Chamber match, but the girls are having one as well.
We're having a Hell in a Cell. The girls are having one too.
Right.
But
we're having a Royal Rumble?
I think they're throwing it all too much too. It's like we just had the first ever women's Royal Rumble. Now we're having the first Elimination Chamber. I think they should space it out.
Yeah. Which and I don't want to say that I'm worried, but I'm thinking, are they going to do the first ever women's match main event WrestleMania?
I don't think this year. I think they're going to wait I think maybe next year. Maybe
I'd be fine with it with the right people.
Yeah, but I think they might hold that off till next year.
Yeah,
and let Asuka get the title and hold it for the year, and then maybe that's when Asuka loses it at WrestleMania. Big, it happens. But especially if they're having AJ Styles and Nakamura face each other, that needs to be the last match of the night.
Yeah.
So
that. Yeah, I agree with you there. But you know, big old Vince, he's going to make it Lesnar and Reigns.
Lesnar, probably. And this is my view of the Women's Royal Rumble before it actually happened. Was everyone just like, in my mind, this is my opinion. I knew Asuka was going to win it just from the get go. If she even touched it, that's what really kind of made me hinder it, because I kind of knew who was going to win it, and especially when it came down to her and Nikki, I knew who was going to win right then and there. But that's one of the things is like you wanted that unpredictability. I felt like you needed that for it to actually be good. Mm-hmm. So but overall, just I think the fact that they had so many people return is what made it what it was.
Yeah.
At that point, you didn't care.
But
especially seeing Lita and Trish, and then that little Trish Stratus little standoff with Sasha Banks.
God, they made Trish Stratus number 30.
Yeah,
like
I was fearing for my life that Alicia Fox was going to be number 30.
I was about to be pissed.
And she wasn't even in it.
That kind of made me be like, really? But
I think she's out the door. That's just my opinion.
Probably.
I think she's on her way out.
She probably has one foot out the door.
Yeah.
And she honestly, I think that she has talent. Don't get me wrong.
Does.
She could probably go to Ring of Honor or New Japan even, and
TNA or Impact or Global Wrestling, whatever it's called.
I think they don't have a women's division in New Japan though.
No,
I don't think they do.
Ring of Honor they just announced they're having a women's title.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. They're just doing like a little tournament right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Emma is in it
now. What is it? Tennille Dashwood is who she is now.
She still has the same gimmick though. It's kind of the
same thing.
Same makeup, a little dark makeup.
Whatever, go with what brought you to the dance.
Yeah.
So now that we talked about Royal Rumble, I want to talk about Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Right. So I kind of want to know
next week,
next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yes.
Which we could not do live reactions. I'd be fine with if we did. Completely up to you though.
Yeah.
But I want to know. There's only like 3 matches that's on the card right now.
Yeah, there's the men's and the women's, and then
let me look it up real quick. But I think it's men's Elimination Chamber, women's Elimination Chamber, and I think it's not a cruiserweight match.
Is it a tag team title match?
Yeah. No, it's not. No. Oh no, it's Asuka versus Nia Jax. Okay, so let's go based off of that real quick. Okay. So. Asuka versus Nia Jax. Kurt Angle announces that if Nia Jax wins, she'll be added to the match.
Oh, and then Rousey, and then real quick, Rousey signing her contract is another big thing.
Oh yeah, that's another big thing that's happening there. Yeah. So she'll be added to the match at WrestleMania 34,
which is kind of weird because Asuka hasn't really stated who she's gonna face yet.
Right.
So that's kind of odd.
I think it's just kind of a given. She's going to be facing for Raws.
But she might pull that thing and say, "Hey,
move," or
like I want to wrestle Charlotte at Mania."
Or no, it wasn't a Batista move. It was Benoit.
That was a Benoit. Chris Benoit.
Sorry.
We mentioned Chris Benoit.
Who?
First podcast we had to mention Chris Benoit.
Fuck.
We're gonna try and hold that one off. But yeah, it just because Benoit was a SmackDown guy, and then
he went over to Raw,
and then that's set up the triple threat at
WrestleMania 20.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that was a good match
in and of itself. Great match.
That super
I
kick.
loved WrestleMania 20. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite WrestleManias.
Honestly, even the Lesnar, like a lot of people talk stuff on the Lesnar Goldberg match, but it was actually pretty decent. It was quick, had power, and then it was over.
I guess, but the whole
Stone Cold made it happen, though.
Right. The thing that threw me off about it, though, is
everyone knew
the power struggle that they had. They lock up and they just push each other a little bit, and it's like you guys have been fighting and at each other's throats for like months since Survivor Series 2003, right? And now you're just going to sit there and just push each other in the ring? Yeah. Come on. But anyways, so Asuka versus Nia Jax. Do you really see Asuka losing?
No, I don't.
Absolutely not.
It's going to be probably one of those matches that they make Asuka look like, we don't think she can get her. She's too powerful. She's too big. Blah blah blah. And then she'll throw a submission move on her and be the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Or it could be they could throw something in there where it's like a count out or like a disqualification or something like that. To technically Asuka loses, right? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
But then they keep going with, she's never been pinned or submitted.
Yeah.
So then they can keep that streak going.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to hold off that scenario.
Maybe.
That's why I think she won the Rumble, because I think they're trying to hold off that. She never lost yet.
But honestly, do you see anybody on the women's roster, anybody that could potentially end the streak of Asuka?
Charlotte. I think Charlotte could. Yeah.
You think?
Charlotte's going to be the next Triple H female.
Probably.
Female version of Triple H.
Get her a shovel.
She's going to beat Trish's 7 reigns. Title reign.
You think?
Yeah, she's gonna beat it when she's over.
Shit, that time where her and Sasha played hot potato title.
Like, she's a 4-time champ now, and she's currently the champ now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So let's move on. Let's talk about the women's Elimination Chamber match. Like you and I've already stated, cool that they're doing it.
Who's all in it again? Bayley, Sasha,
Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville, and Sasha Banks.
Okay.
So yeah. Honestly, could I say something real quick just about one of the competitors in it? Why is Mickie James in this match? Why didn't you put Nia Jax into the chamber instead of Mickie James?
Yeah, because I don't know. I guess they wanted to give that feel of Asuka might lose before WrestleMania, kind of feel with that match. But no one seriously believes she's gonna lose.
You can still do the same storyline and same match with
Mickie.
Yeah, it would have been fine. And it's just like the veteran trying to climb the ladder again.
Mickie, I can take 3 out right now. Mickie James, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville.
Yeah,
they're just fillers in the match. Yeah. They're not gonna win it.
Bayley is an easy out. I'm pretty sure. Actually, they could throw a wrench in the system, and they could make Sasha the champ, and then Sasha and Asuka.
Because Sasha kind of doing this thing with Asuka, but she's kind of doing this thing with Bayley right now. They're kind of teetering with it.
So it can go either way.
And Sasha's kind of like, I like Sasha Banks' work in the ring. I don't like how she put Paige on the shelf and retired her.
Yeah,
that was a horrible,
stupid move.
Didn't need to happen.
And honestly, I think that if Paige was still wrestling, I think it would have been Paige instead of Mickie James. But she's not going to ever be cleared by WWE ever again.
Yeah, same. She's in the same boat as Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and that's some bullshit.
Yeah, it sucks. She just came back, and if you watched the video when she got hurt,
it looked brutal.
Yeah, like it felt like she couldn't move her arms, like she couldn't get up. It was just, but. Yeah. So, in my opinion, it's going to come down to Bayley, Bliss, and Sasha. One of them 3 are going to win it, and I think, I don't know. I think they might pull that move where Sasha gets it, but they're kind of doing a thing with Bayley, so I think it might just be a Sasha Bayley at Mania.
This one is where it's a toss-up.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be Sasha or Bliss.
Yeah.
Which Bliss is, like they said on Raw last week. When's the last time she even defended that thing? She's had it for how long? It's just kind of like she has it. I think they did, but Asuka's going to change that WrestleMania no matter who she wrestles anyway. So
I don't see Asuka losing or ending the streak anytime soon.
So do you think Asuka's going to just stay on Raw and challenge the Raw?
Yeah.
So off subject, who do you think is a women's SmackDown? At Mania, what do you think is going to happen there?
Good question. I actually had a toss-up. Everybody wants to see Charlotte, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey could bring a lot of attention to SmackDown, but I don't see her.
I think
they're doing the contract for Raw.
Yeah. So Rousey's going to be on Raw because that's their money show, so they're going to keep
putting her on.
Yeah, they're going to put her on Raw.
So I could see it maybe Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I
would dig a Charlotte Becky Lynch because they're kind of doing a friends thing, and then they can kind of do hey, we're friends, but this is for the title. We're going to put on the show.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see.
But you do always have, and I know this is kind of like laughing moment, but you have Carmella waiting in the background. She still's got that briefcase.
So it might.
I
wouldn't want to see that Mania.
You know what'd be funny is if Carmella were to cash in at Money in the Bank, right? And there's like the second Money in the Bank women's ladder match, right? So she cashes in there,
Yeah.
But then the winner of that night cashes in on her. That'd be pretty good.
Because it's like her last night to do it, and she pulls it off.
Yeah.
And bam.
And then it just switches right there. Yeah.
Which, honestly, she hasn't even. She's like just recently she teased about doing it, and then she ran off and didn't do it.
Yeah.
But that's the first time she teased even cashing it in.
Yeah.
Since she's had it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think she just likes to carry it around because it's pretty much. It's pretty much a championship in the bag. And
it's the first one, so they're going to let her hold on to it for a little bit. Right. Kind of like when Edge got it first.
But Edge held on. About her a little bit.
Edge held on to his for almost like 10
a year.
10,
it was
11
almost
months,
a year.
almost a year, because he got a New Year's resolution.
No. Yeah, he got the championship in New Year's resolution, but he won the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
So it was almost time.
He had a year to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because he got, after the Chamber, I remember that Chamber came up.
Yeah.
He went down, beat John Cena.
John Cena came out. Or, no, John Cena won.
Vince came out, introduced Edge, and he got it. And then, big money match, John Cena took it back, Royal Rumble next
that month.
Yeah.
But it led to a really good match at WrestleMania 22 between Mick Foley and Edge.
Yeah,
Amazing finish.
Awesome.
So let's talk about the men's Elimination Chamber match.
Men's, which is 7. There's 8. No,
there's
7.
7 because of the false finish, or the what was it? I don't want to say botched finish, but it was I would say trick finish to the match on Raw.
What's up with them announcing stuff before, like, they've been announcing things they're going to do off record, like on the website or on YouTube. They don't wait till the next Raw to be like, this is what we're doing.
I don't know. I think they're bringing in like the reality to it, and trying to make it seem more like, it's business operated now rather than, at the show sort of thing. But
was it Elias?
It's Elias, Cena? Braun Strowman, Cena, Reigns, Miz, Balor, Rollins.
Yeah, which
they're bringing in the whole new first ever 7 men.
Yeah, which I kind of wanted to see Matt and Bray Wyatt in there.
Yeah,
I kind of would have took Miz out because he's the IC title, and then Elias. Part of me would have took him out and just put them two in, just so they can build their match to WrestleMania.
Right.
Because they're building it Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But I was kind of hoping they'd put them in there to kind of build that. That's going to be a
clusterfuck of a match.
Yeah. Which I kind of wonder what they're going to do.
That's going to be a weird
I wonder what
match.
they're building to with that whole scenario.
Well, they did the when Hardy was in TNA, they did, or Impact, sorry. They did the
deletion.
Was it Hardy Compound or something like that?
Yeah.
And
then
the Wyatt.
Then the Wyatts kind of copied them and did the Wyatt Compound.
Right. Was it Final Deletion?
Final Deletion was that's what it was.
And then for Wyatt's, it was Wyatt's and New Day.
Yeah. Which, man.
Yeah. Anyways, so who do you have your money on for? I mean, all right, it's the obvious.
This is who I think I know is going to win is Roman Reigns, but I think they might throw a wrench in it. If they wanted to throw a wrench in it, Balor, since he's never lost the title. And they kind of build a whole little thing where Balor goes to WrestleMania, kind of turns heel.
Yeah.
Straight up heel with the club.
Yeah.
And gets the title.
I could see that happen. I don't see Elias.
No.
I don't see Braun Strowman, and I don't see The Miz winning it.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
I actually been hearing that they're pushing a Miz Strowman at
That's
Mania.
what I've heard too.
Yeah, so.
For Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, so.
Strowman hasn't had a title yet.
So my top, John Cena. No, I think he's going part time right now.
I think it's him and Elias at Mania.
Yeah,
they're going to try and build Elias.
So like the women's, I have my top 3: Seth Rollins, Balor, or Reigns. One of them. Those are my
Reigns.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's
going to be Reigns.
But
so.
They wanted to bring back the WrestleMania 31 match. Like, okay, no outside interference, nobody.
And they're gonna build it up like these are the 2 guys that beat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Who's
the 2
the better
men that's
one?
only beat Undertaker. Who's gonna win? Blah,
and
blah,
then they're gonna do a whole thing of Reigns almost had him at WrestleMania 31, but Rollins came down and ruined the day.
Actually happen.
Yeah. That's how they want to build it up.
Which fine. You want to do that? Fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But
whatever.
The rest of the card on WrestleMania better be good because that match is gonna.
We got our match that we were begging for, which was Nakamura and AJ Styles. Yeah. Seeing that Styles retains that.
The only way they could probably make that match better is they threw Balor in there and they had a triple threat.
Oh.
That would be.
Ooh.
But that would make it a little bit. But I dig the singles.
Yeah.
I dig singles. See what they can put on.
I love the singles matches. But, yeah. Okay, so we talked about WWE a lot. All right? I want to talk about New Japan a little bit.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about Impact because there's not really much going on with that. Ring of Honor, not very much going on there either. But New Japan has something killer brewing right now. Let's talk about Bullet Club a little bit.
Okay. who are the members right now? There's so many.
So we have let's focus on the main members, the ones that are like
the Bucks.
There. So
Cody Rhodes.
Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, Tama Tonga, and Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah.
Let's focus on them. Okay, so Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, there's nothing really going on between them. They're Bullet Club through and through.
Yeah.
They'll always be Bullet Club.
Yes.
Whereas there's dissension between Cody and the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
But Hangman Page is kind of on Cody's side, where Marty Scurll is kind of like the mediator. He's trying to
keep things together, but it's not going the way he wants it to go.
So let's talk about why Kenny Omega is what we feel is no longer associated with Bullet Club. Okay, yeah. So Kenny was in the ring with Cody and Hangman Page.
Didn't he lose his United States
Championship to Jay White?
Yeah.
So then Jay White went off with that.
That's when they attacked.
And that's when they attacked Kenny because Kenny interrupted Hangman Page's moment.
Yeah.
Because Hangman Page was challenging Jay White for the United States Championship. So Jay White left, which, by the way, Jay White, he's becoming a killer wrestler. Like, he's really good. I love his gimmick with Switchblade and everything. It's great. But we'll talk about that another time. So Cody comes in telling Kenny, it's not your moment. This is about Hangman. It's not your moment. And Kenny's not too fond of that, and so they attack Kenny, right?
And that brings the whole of Kenny got kicked out of Bullet Club,
right,
and then they did the whole maybe we're good, maybe we're not.
That sort of thing, yep. And, honestly, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the shirts are stupid now. I love the Bullet Club is fine shirts that Cody made. Hilarious. Fucking awesome.
Did you hear about the was it Young Bucks? They got like WWE sent them a thing of like
the cease and desist.
Cease and desist of the Too Sweet.
I want that shirt.
So now they do the one sweet or something.
Yeah,
and then
one sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
But Young Bucks are actually like they're marketing geniuses.
Yeah.
Really, they are.
And
I know I'm throwing that word around.
They're making a lot of money, but I think they can make a lot more WWE if they do it right.
They could.
Especially if they
bigger
did,
stage.
Especially if they did like a lot of the wrestlers do is they make money off their merchandise.
Oh,
not all of them do it, but some.
They're the leading merchandise people in New Japan because of their shirts, and Bullet Club is in general. With I think Los Ingobernables de Japón being like second, they actually may have surpassed Bullet Club. I'm not too sure. But anyways, so let's talk about Young Bucks and Kenny Omega's YouTube channel being the Elite. Right.
Yeah, being the Elite, which I just kind of came across a couple months ago, and I started watching them. Which
I think mine was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, they're on like episode 80.
Oh, it's further
than that. Like, maybe that was the Wrestle Kingdom one that I was watching. It was like 88 something like that. I don't know.
Like I think their YouTube channel is great. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and anybody thinks that they can't do promos or storylines, watch that channel, and they can incorporate that in WWE.
Yeah. Especially the storyline with Adam Cole poisoning. Was it Matt? Yeah, it was poisoning Matt, and they incorporated that into Ring of Honor. Yeah. How genius is that?
And Cody Rhodes been in a lot lately too, and been doing
right. And they got the whole "fuck the revival" going on, and all their chants and everything. Marty Scurll's a pop singer now, and I think their channel is doing really well. They're hilarious, and they really are bringing that into their work in the ring as well. So I think that's really interesting, but. It's also telling the story outside of New Japan and outside of Ring of Honor, what's going on between the Bullet Club as well. But so if Kenny is like when it's final decision, Kenny Omega kicked out of Bullet Club, like that's when they make it final or something like that. Who's going to become the leader? Do you think Cody or Marty Scurll?
I think it's going to be Cody. I think he's kind of building that. And Cody's done a lot of good stuff for himself since he's left. I think it was kind of one of those things he had to leave because he's another one of those kind of he was getting lost in the shuffle. Yeah. And that I never did that Stardust thing he was doing. Like he
hated that too.
Yeah, he was meant to be
Cody
on the up. Yeah. And now Cody, which he can't be Cody Rhodes. He's going by Cody now.
Yeah,
but. I think he's doing a lot better for himself now, and he'll come back and be stronger. And I think he will return to WWE one day, just because
it's a possibility. Yeah. Still a lot of bad blood there.
Yeah.
Though
the way he left, but WWE is one of those companies that forget a lot of stuff.
They do. They forgive and forget.
Forgive and forget.
Yeah, because they look at the money.
Let's start over.
Yeah.
That's what I love about WWE. It's one of those really never say never situations with the whole company.
But my thing is of where Marty Scurll, he's rising up in the ranks, man. And when he debuted as part of the Bullet Club, where they attacked Adam Cole, it was awesome. The whole entire arena was just going crazy.
That's where they kind of get. It's like the Bullet Club ritual is like, oh, they're moving on and going somewhere else. They're getting kicked out, attacked, like they did AJ Styles.
Right.
So that just brought speculation of they attacked Kenny Omega. Is he going somewhere else?
Yeah. It's a good point.
But I think he signed through like 2019 or something.
He did, like because, and this is a good segue here, because they bring back the Golden Lovers, which is Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega, which that has been teased for years. That's what I love about this storyline right now, is that it has been teased for literally like 3 years-ish. Yeah. Just about 2 or 3 years.
I think they might do it just because I think Kenny Omega might. I think he stated he wants to do. He still has a few things he wants to accomplish, and then he'd consider moving on from New Japan, which I think maybe teaming back up would be as one of his things.
But again, Kota, he's wrestled for WWE in the Cruiserweight Classic. Yeah. It's another lure.
Yeah, it is.
So there's a lot that's trying to reel Kenny in.
Yeah, I think Kenny Omega might want to get the world title once.
I don't really think it's going to happen.
It's not. I don't think they're going to give it to him.
Yeah. Because, look at Okada. Yeah. Okay? He's a guy that needs the title. Like, without it, he's kind of irrelevant, you know? Kenny doesn't need it.
He doesn't. But it's as a fan, you want to see the accolade on him.
Well, sure, yeah.
That's how I always was. Like, man, as a fan, I always wanted to see this person win. Kind of like Becky Lynch right now.
It's killing me right now.
She got the title, like, once, defended it once, held it for, like, 4 months, got beat by Alexa Bliss. And then there's that.
That's it.
And then it's like, man, she could use a couple reigns.
Right. But the thing about the Golden Lovers, I don't know if you watched some of their matches before, because when I saw them get back together, I was like, man, I should really do my research on this. And I watched a few of their matches. Unbelievable ring work.
That's what I like about New Japan. It's not about. They do have promos here and there, but it's about the wrestling.
Right. And it's not politics.
And they're like. When they wrestle, it's like quiet.
Yeah.
It's like people...
it's because the fans are like...
Yeah, and they clap.
Yeah, they're assessing the situation. They're analyzing the match.
And they're not like our WWE fans where they start a chant.
Chant something out.
And it's like...
What was it?
You still got it.
You still got it, or this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's thrown around quite a bit. Or holy shit, thrown around quite a bit.
I dig the holy shit one because
there's times
that one doesn't get put out there that much, but this is awesome gets put out there way too much. It's
and then thank God they got rid of they're finally starting to die down on CM Punk chants because we get it. He was great.
Yeah, the only time you get those is if they're in Chicago or
Philly.
The only time that's all about. The only time you get those now.
Philly, just don't get me started on Philly fans. No. Sorry if you're from Philly and you're a WWE fan, but you suck. Yeah. You really do. I
was happy you guys won the Super Bowl, but because I can't take another Patriots
the WWE
win.
fans, go fuck yourself. Yeah. You guys fucking suck. Yeah. You literally ruin the shows.
Yeah.
Anyways, besides that, did you see the video of Kota Ibushi and Omega, them training together?
I have not seen that yet.
Ibushi's ring gym area.
I have not seen that yet.
It's pretty good, and you can actually see the emotion and the reminiscing on Kenny's face when he's going through moves and talking to the camera crew and stuff like that. And you can tell he's getting emotional about it because it's where he started.
Yeah.
It was his debut, and that's the dude that he traveled around with. That's where he got to start, and then he's remembering all that. Mm-hmm. You can tell it's like
he's getting back to where it's maybe it might be a going off thing. We'll let him roll with this, and then
it could be a good send off. Yeah. But all right. Well, I think we've talked about a lot. Talked people's ears off and everything, and I think it's a good place to stop.
See if they good place to stop. See if they want to hear us ramble more.
Yeah.
Kind of go over what our next episode would probably be over. We'll probably talk a little bit more about the next upcoming Raws, and we'll definitely get an Elimination Chamber, and then we'll
talk about Mania.
We'll get really into Fastlane, and we'll do a really in-depth Mania one.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of want to talk about our favorite matches too on the next one.
Yeah.
And then favorite feuds or something like that.
Favorite feuds, yeah.
Get to know us a little bit more. Yeah. But that's all that we got for today. Be sure to click that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
And like us. We're going to try and make a Facebook page and a Twitter and everything to kind of keep you guys up to date on what we're going to be doing. We definitely take requests. So if you guys want us to talk about something, get our opinions on something, let us know.
Let us know on anything. Once again, I'm John.
I'm Blake.
And we'll see you guys next time.
This was Beyond the Barricade.